Most people don't know much about owls because they live far away in the forest and don't readily come into contact with humans. Owls are a type of raptor, a general term for birds of prey, or more specifically, birds from the order Sturigiformes. Interestingly, owls are similar to cats in certain ways, so it's often said that a cat becomes an owl when it meets a hawk while climbing a tree. A man was stopped in the forest by an owl hatchling that kept bowing to the man. What exactly happened? What happened between this man and this owl hatchling? Owls are powerful and silly, fierce and cute, magical animals. They are primarily nocturnal animals, meaning they are often active at night and hiding during the day in bushes, rock caves, or eaves, not making it easy for them to be found. Their vision is very keen. In the darkness of night, their eyes can see 100 times better than humans. But some owls are out and about during the day, such as the little owl with a longitudinal belly. However, consistently nocturnal animals are unable to fly properly once they are active during the day. It's almost as if they are drunk. Charlie was a motorcycle rider, and in his spare time he would ride to relax. It had just rained, the air smelled like dirt, and yet the roads were mostly free of water and mud, so riding in such weather was very enjoyable. Charlie contacted his buddies who shared his passion, and they all decided to ride into the forest. It was late spring, greenery was everywhere, and the sound of various bird calls made the quiet forest cheerful. Charlie and his friends did not take long to head deep into the depths of the forest. Suddenly, the man riding in front stopped, so Charlie rushed over to check the situation. It turned out that they were stopped by an owl hatchling. They then went over to check it out. Charlie and his friends were intrigued by the sudden appearance of the owl. They thought owl hatchlings were usually in the nest, waiting for their mother. Charlie was fascinated by the cute owl hatchling and said it resembled a character from a cartoon, so he rushed to take out his phone to take pictures. The owl was 10 centimeters long and fluffy. But what it did afterwards surprised everyone present. The owl hatchling kept nodding to Charlie as if it was bowing. The owl hatchling was not afraid of them, but rather stood still and let them take pictures of it. At that time, it had just rained, so despite the weather being incredible, the owl hatchling was shivering. Since they didn't know what had happened to the baby owl, they felt pity for it. Its eyes were full of expectation and helplessness, and the way it bowed made them feel empathy. Charlie guessed that the baby owl was probably lost from its family, so it came to them for help. Fearing that the owl hatchling had been accidentally injured by a vehicle, Charlie decided to help it, so he immediately contacted the Wildlife Conservation Service and called the police. After hearing Charlie's description, the Wildlife Conservation Service officers confirmed that the baby owl was a small, longitudinal-bellied owl, which was a key conservation animal. According to the department, every year in May and June was the time when owl hatchlings learned to fly, and some of the owl hatchlings with poor flying ability could easily fall onto the suburban roads, fields, or woods. So from May onwards, it was the prime season for picking up birds. The staff said that if they encountered owl hatchlings outside, they would have to act very carefully because the owls have a unique smell. He also said that if the owls were tainted by the scent of humans, they might be abandoned. So in general, if the public found a lone owl hatchling, they could not touch it directly or move it with their hands. At that time, if the owl hatchlings were in some dangerous areas and had to be moved, well, then the public could put plastic bags on their hands and then move them to a safe place. However, they couldn't move the owls too far away because then their mother wouldn't be able to find them with the sound of their hooting. It didn't take long for police and wildlife services staff to arrive on the scene. After examination by the Wildlife Services staff, the owl hatchling had no obvious injuries, but it was unable to feed on its own. After consulting with the wildlife conservation staff, the police decided to take the owl hatchling to the station and place it in the care of professionals. Charlie was relieved to know that the owl hatchling had a new home and would thrive under the care of professionals. After some time, and after everyone had thought that the owl hatchling had been fixed up, something even stranger happened. One day, Charlie received a call from the police when he was off duty. It turned out that something unusual had happened that was directly connected to the owl hatchling. So the next day, without taking too much time to think about it, Charlie went straight to the police station. Just as he was walking into the police station, he was attracted by an owl, which looked similar to the owl hatchling from the day before, only this one was much larger. After hurrying inside, Charlie hurriedly asked the police what had happened. So the police told Charlie what had happened. It turned out that the police station staff had heard an owl hooting outside the office window. Out of curiosity, they opened the window and found an owl standing there and looking around. After that, it flew into the office and wandered around for a long time, as if it was looking for something. The owl did not find anything, so it kept hooting at the police station staff. The owl's hooting was very anxious, as if it wanted to talk. The police staff took a closer look at the owl and found that it looked very much like the owl hatchling they had rescued the day before, so they speculated whether they were family. The police department rushed to contact the Animal Protection Agency. They determined that the adult owl and the owl they had rescued the day before belonged to the same species, both being small owls with longitudinal bellies. The animal protection staff guessed that there might be a nest in the forest, and that the adult owl might be the mother of the owl hatchling, which had come, by scent, to look for its baby. Upon hearing the news, Charlie was incredulous and touched by their bond. In order to protect the nature of wildlife and follow the laws of nature, the staff of the Animal Protection Agency decided to return the owl hatchling to the police station immediately and reunite it with its mother. The owl hatchling was brought to the office, and the adult owl flew toward it immediately afterward. Afterward, the owl hatchling kept hooting, so they snuggled together. Their affection touched everyone in the room. Then, with the help of the staff, they returned the two owls to the place where they were first found. It was a touching event about the bonding of animals and showed the full commitment of humans to protect wildlife. Wild animals are friends of human beings, an essential part of the ecosystem, and a valuable natural resource given by nature. However, in recent years, due to the deterioration of the ecological environment and the destruction of wildlife habitats by humans, the number and distribution of wildlife is shrinking, and many animals are on the verge of extinction. In order to protect wildlife, we should take action to make nature more beautiful. Let's start taking action now. Put our efforts and love into protecting wild animals and their homes with practical actions, and live in harmony with nature.